The Diaspora as a news program content thrives on a huge technological base. This is where the vision behind the AFRICAST finds expression and resonates with the program as a linkage platform for diaspora Nigerians. Now you see what I mean. Human capital, content, and technology coalesce to advance the cause of our global village for our united humanity. While we're still talking about a united humanity, the Diaspora presents a case of 16 unbroken years of tireless commitment to selfless service and a compelling passion to cater to the needs of the vulnerable by a diaspora association, the Nigerian Women Association of Georgia, NWAG for short. The 14th annual award ceremony of the NWAG was held in Abuja. Superlative philanthropy. Now, the immediate past president of NWAG, Nigerian Women Association of Atlanta, Georgia, the United States, is our Diasporan of the Week. I'm Ogechi Paul. Welcome on board. The 11th AFRICAST Biennial Conference, held in Abuja with the theme Digital Terrestrial Broadcasting, Financing Quality Content, served to congregate core stakeholders in the broadcast industry to a 3-day eventful engagement.
Digital terrestrial broadcasting, the imperatives of financing quality content, was the theme of the just concluded AFRICAST 2016. It was the 11th edition of a biennial convergence of broadcasters and broadcast stakeholders in both the public and private industries. With the pilot takeoff of full digitization in Nigeria with the just experience, a forum like this is pertinent, especially as Nigeria prepares to migrate to final digital switchover in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, by November 2016.
We will roll out, hopefully by the end of November, in Abuja, and from there we'll roll out to other parts of the country. We've learned from our past, challenges. And after Abuja, we move to Lagos, we move to Parakou, we move to Kano. So we are quite optimistic.
There's so much content in Nigeria that those who understand the media economy, the creative economy, will put their money where their mouth is because they know also there's return on investment.
The spectrum is very large, and we will need a lot of programs, a lot of content to fill this spectrum.
You were privy to the 11th edition of AFRICAST that held in Abuja here. What do you make of that program?
Well, I think AFRICAST was a major program that bringing to the forefront, the values that broadcasting, as a metamorphose, into in the 21st century.
Yes.
And I think that is something that we need to really, really hold fast to and encourage, its consistent growth, for every edition that comes.
I see. Now, beyond the congregation of broadcast professionals, policymakers and others who graced that occasion, which is a big boost, of course, for our image as a country, yes. Do you agree that Nigeria is able to occupy that position of a content hub for Africa?
Yeah, Nigeria, as was clearly, defined in the AFRICAST program, is a major hub for African content.
Okay.
One of the reasons is that this is one of the highest multicultural countries in Africa.
Multicultural. Yes.
Multi-ethnic and multicultural, single location in Africa.
Okay.
And from Nigeria, it's very easy to, go all the way to Senegal, go all the way to Egypt, go all the way to South Africa, and all the countries that are in between. So it could function as a very successful and major hub, for broadcasting for Africa.
Yeah, so Nigeria
and I think Nigeria has already started doing this much earlier than this, because NTA is already being watched in several African countries.
But that throws up a very big challenge,
Yes. When challenges come, that is when we have to rise up to the occasion.
Okay, now the theme, you say, is digital terrestrial broadcasting, financing quality content.
Yes.
That tells a story. Content is a major issue and requires money. So where do you think this money will come from?
Well, basically, if the issues of digitization was analyzed in Nigeria,
okay,
we would have already realized that financing was going to be a major issue.
Okay.
To transmit from analog transmission to digital technology, it's a lot of cost. And of course, the stations that are going to be broadcasting these terrestrial, programs will necessarily have to reach out to get money. Now, this is where I see this AFRICAST really getting it right, because for the first time, the reality of what a private sector and a public sector can come together to do was made to be the focus. And every one of us watching that program actually saw that this is what should be done. Now, how financing can be done can only be through planning, through realistic evaluation of what is required for the project, for the content, and then for the broadcast itself, because it's not just going to be fly by night. It's going to pass through stages. Even the United States of America, that has started a digital transmission test since 1940, actually came on stream in 1998.
I see.
Yes. Nigeria has actually even shown so much commitment. In all of this, funding is very, very, very key. Now, for you as a public, sector, a broadcasting station, NTA, I will congratulate you, because you've already done quite a lot to be able to ensure that digital transmission is a reality in Nigeria.
Thank you.
And content is a major issue.
It is.
Content providers like us will come in to be able to discuss with stations and say, these are the things that can be done. We've seen your news items, we've seen your social events, we've seen your sporting events, we've seen your entertainment, we've seen different things, but we could start to think about new programs to be the basis on which we can actually be transmitting these digital services, not only to Nigerians or Africans, but also to the entire world.
That is where competition comes in, and the quality of programming. Yes.
Because this is going to be the hub where the true African story
will be told from.
The reality of the African will be told, and will be realistically and honestly, because with the digital technology, production cost is going to be flexible. And most of the programs, as I see it from the way we are looking at it from our perspective, is that the station should go into partnership with content providers like us across Africa, not just Nigeria,
of course,
but across Africa.
Yes.
To be able to have a stakeholder meeting with us to say, look, these are the things that you are not paying for the production of the content, but of course we can utilize that because of the numerous stations and viewer kind that can come on board because of the digital transmission.
Yes.
We should be able to get a lot of product companies, manufacturers, events, to advertise on all those programs, which will be a source of how funds can come.
Of course, that is why you come in, to make sure that there's that synergy.
So this is what we are thinking, that we could come on board and then to be able to support the Nigerian government to make the Nigerian hub a very successful one.
Yeah, the minister says the digitization of broadcasting can generate $1 billion yearly in this country. What would you say to that?
Well, I will not. What is $1 billion? $1 billion will be an average of 1 million adults at an average of $1,000. So we can actually exceed it in 360 days with a few days recess. It's not difficult to get good content provided and have sponsors, advertisers keen on that project and paying at least $2,000.
Yes.
And if that will be the case, and we aim that in every year we should be able to hit 1 million adverts, that's already over $1 billion.
Interesting.
For us, from the private sector, I think this is something that we really look up to. And our advice to the Nigerian government, the Ministry of Communication, and in fact, all the media that are already migrating from analog to digital technology, that the cost to transmit is high. But if we focus on it and really put our best and have competition as a focus, that we can compete favorably with other clients. I don't want to name other countries, but other clients that are already doing very well in digital transmission, we will be able to make it happen. The private sector is there. The Chamber of Commerce, as always, is just there waiting to be beckoned to bring in their best to be able to work. As content providers, we are already going to start looking for how we can be able to work with the ministry, with the minister, and with NTA. That's going to be the focal point for this transmission.
The 14th annual awards ceremony of the Nigerian Women Association of Georgia, NWAG, has held in Abuja, Nigeria's capital territory. 37 undergraduates of various tertiary institutions in Nigeria received scholarships, while 12 orphanage homes got financial support at the event.
I thought that as mothers, it would go a long way if we can contribute together into our own well-being and those of our children. And that's how NWAG was born. Honestly, when we started, I didn't think it would last this long. I just felt when I left Atlanta, it will all crumble up. But it hasn't, and it's even waxing stronger. When you think of things being right in a country, it's not necessarily the leaders only. Each of us within that community or that country must contribute considerably into a country we want to see. This is over the 400 or so scholarships being awarded to girls in Nigeria, and they also have supported orphanages. So for me, what do I say? I say more of us Nigerians must engage in activities outside our own immediate comfort zone to be able in the long run to touch the heart of Nigerians, even non-Nigerians, but to touch the hearts of our next generation. NWAG is providing that leadership by example.
What I do every month is I give back to the homeless in my community, and I create what I call blessing bags in Georgia, yes. And I give out 20 bags. I just have simple Ziploc baggies, and I put like a bag of chips, some protein, fruit snacks, a pair of socks, tissues, chapstick, hair products, whatever I can, just collect on my own or whatever I have enough funding for. And I make 20 of those bags, and I put $5 in it as well, and I just distribute to the homeless in my community. It's a little bit, but that someone out there cares.
Here we have 37 ladies from all states in Nigeria, and we have 12 orphanage homes. It's an inspiration, honestly. I really want to thank NWAG for imparting people, for helping people.
When I listen to most of the things people say, most of the representatives from the orphanages, seriously, I was fighting to put back tears in my eyes because I was really touched.
NWAG is giving scholarship to students from all different kind of courses. I'm really appreciating them, and I pray God will give me the ability to use the money for something good.
We got one of our cows last year, which we bought for 100 and something thousand because of the money we got from the NWAG last year. And they have been helping us in so many ways.
I hope you found it inspiring and thought-provoking. If you have just joined us, this is the Diaspora on NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Information and news updates. Visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
And now to our Diasporan of the week. It's a pleasure to have you on the Diaspora, madam.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What was it like in Georgia before you left? You're in Nigeria?
Actually, it was getting a little cool.
Okay.
But now it's cold.
It's cold.
Heard. Yeah.
So you don't.
So we're going to bundle up.
I see. Well, you're welcome, madam.
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
I must tell you that I witnessed a program of NWAG here in Abuja, where some people were awarded scholarships and some orphanage homes, were given some sort of support. That program was very, very special to me, I would say. So NWAG, Nigeria Women Association of Georgia, what is it all about?
We are a bunch of women that thought that we can come together and make a difference in Nigeria and in our local community in Atlanta.
Okay.
And this was founded by Mrs. Dayokeshi. Then she was the wife of the Consul General, and he was posted in Atlanta, Georgia. And she thought, you know what, let's do something back home. Let's make an impact back home.
Yes.
So she called a bunch of us women, about 5 of us. We met with her, we sat, we talked, we deliberated, and that's how NWAG was formed.
I see. How many
16 years ago.
16 years ago, that's
Yes.
2000?
2000, correct.
And you have sustained it, you've been on it.
By the grace of God.
I see. So
yes.
what are some of the stories to tell about NWAG?
NWAG is one of the organizations that does what it says it's going to do.
Okay.
And we try as much as possible to put God first. And that is really the gel that has been keeping us together. Because at every meeting, we pray before the meeting, we pray after the meeting. Then we have a prayer line that we actually get together and pray, because it's not easy for women to come together and make a difference.
Well, prayer, we are told that faith without works, isn't it? Is that
yes.
So you pray, you also work, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
So do you also impact foreigners in Georgia? I'm not talking about Nigeria now. In Georgia, is your spectrum that much?
Actually, we thought about it. At first, we're just going to do something for Nigeria.
Okay.
Then we thought about it that we need to impact our local community as well.
Yes.
So we support local groups in Atlanta, like Sickle Cell Foundation, because sickle cell is very common to Black people. So we try to impact our own community. And we also support International Women's Home and cancer, Susan G. Coleman, because of the cancer that is rampant now in our community. So we do a lot of things in Atlanta, and we also support Atlanta Food Bank in Atlanta. So we do a lot of things, and we give scholarship in Atlanta as well.
Okay, when you're doing that, is it your target audience, is it Blacks or is it Nigerians in Atlanta, or is open to everybody?
It's open.
Okay.
Membership is not open to everybody.
Okay.
But helping the community in general is open to everybody.
I see. Okay, like I started when I was taking off. I said I was privy to a scholarship award,
correct,
right here, and then where some orphanages also had some support from you.
Yes.
Would it be wrong to ask how you generate funds for this kind of activities?
What we did at first, we had very good connection with the Consul General and all the embassies in Atlanta with Mrs. Dayokeshi.
Yes.
But after she left, we thought about how can we keep this going on,
raising
funds, sustaining NWAG.
Yes.
So we talked to our families,
our
friends, our co-workers, even strangers that we don't know, and corporate America. We try to solicit for funds like Coca-Cola. We try to get funds from them. So we go everywhere to solicit. We don't limit where we're getting our money.
Because when they see the kind of things you do, they are disposed to do something.
Yes. And also we invite them to come to our event, our fundraising event, which is the biggest event that we raise the most money in June. We call it the June event because we're known for that.
Okay.
So we invite everyone in the community So we have about 500 to 700 people turn out for that one day event.
I see. Now, the scholarship award, is it the first time you're doing that?
No, this is our 14th year.
The 14th year?
In Nigeria, yes.
Okay, the award has been on for the past 14 years.
Every year, 14 years in Abuja. We moved it one time to Lagos, but it was not convenient for the girls, so it's always been in Abuja.
So do you have an idea of how many people have impacted? You have impacted
We
right now?
About 470 scholarships have been given in Nigeria.
470 in Nigeria?
Yes, sir. And 50 in Georgia. 50 scholarships
50
in Georgia.
And they're all females?
No. The ones in Nigeria, it was a conscious effort to just impact or make a difference in female child.
Okay.
But in Atlanta, Georgia, we service both male and female youth going from high school, which is secondary school, to college in America. So male, female is open to them.
So do you have a database for those who have benefited from you now?
We do.
You have it?
Yes, we have a spreadsheet. Yes.
Okay.
And 2 years ago, we got in touch with all of them by email and invited some of them to come back to the event 2 years ago when I was the president. So we did have some of them show for the same ceremony you witnessed 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
I see. So how would you describe the relationship between you and this sort of group of people? Between NWAG and your recipients, people who have benefited from your scholarships?
Actually, we want it to be stronger. Okay. So we are trying to form a stronger alumni. We call it NWAG alumni. So we're working very hard on that. And for this 2016 class, we established WhatsApp so that they can get in touch with themselves and also get in touch with us to give us feedback, how they're doing. And over the years, I have personally kept in touch with some of the students.
All right.
And one of our success story, she now lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes. And she went back to school of optometry, and now she's a doctor in Atlanta, Georgia. And I went to see her private practice just a week or two before I came. Yes.
That's interesting. Okay, madam, what's the size of your membership? You are all women, isn't it?
We're all female.
Nigerian women,
yes.
So they're all females.
Females, yes.
So what is
and we are about 84 members right now, active. And when we say active, we mean active. As in you come to meetings, there's so many regulations that we have.
84 active members?
Yes.
Professionals? Or
we're all different. I mean, homemakers to professionals, engineers, accountants, doctors, pharmacists, we have all of them.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so how would you describe your engagement with the government of Nigeria?
Right
what I'm asking that is that it all started with the consular, isn't it, like you said? Who was in Georgia and all that.
We do not have a constant relationship with the government per se. What we do, we try to keep a good relationship with our consulate in Atlanta. Okay. So the consul, over the years, have always kept a relationship with us and assisted us, but we've never really had a direct connection to the Nigerian government.
Okay, and you're not thinking along that line, especially with this government that is says it wants to reach out. Maybe I will say diaspora friendly. Want to reach out to diaspora. They want to find out what they do there and to see how they can engage with them.
We'll love to, but it's just that we don't have contact numbers, we don't have contact names, but we'll love to have a relationship because with us doing this, we can even do bigger if we have government help.
Yeah, because the government is also thinking of a diaspora commission such that there will be a very robust engagement with Nigerians outside. In fact, who says you can't even participate in our elections from wherever you are? You're not thinking of things like that?
We have other organizations in Atlanta, Georgia, that is called ANOG, is the Alliance of all the Nigerian organizations in Georgia. And what we're under their umbrella, and they are the ones working more with the government and trying to get election, that citizens back there can vote and all that.
I see.
But NWAG, we concentrate mainly impacting our women, youth, and children.
I see. You philanthropy, you're very, very comfortable with that.
Yes.
Madam, at that program, I saw your daughter, BB is her name, and when I spoke with her, she sounded like somebody who is already carried away by philanthropy. Is it a family business? Is it something all of you there in full time or something?
We're very blessed in NWAG because as we do the work, our husbands are doing the work, our children are doing the work. The children were the ones making the copies, doing all the paperwork. Then BB was about 8-9 years old,
and
she saw everything. She has been part of everything, and she even elected to come to Nigeria and be part of the event.
Well, that's okay. How far do you want to go with this vision?
We are hoping that our children will buy into this mission. we pass it on to the younger generation. From now, the younger generation learn from us, see what we're doing, and continue, and our grandchildren continue this. Because we feel like as we're doing this on earth, God is blessing us in other ways. We're trying to bless people that are less privileged, and God is looking out for us as well.
This is a laudable thing you're doing.
Yes.
Yes. So what's your website?
Our website is www.nwag.org.
Okay, www.nwag.org. It's okay, good to have you, madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is where we wrap it up on this edition. Do well remember that you are a human being when your thoughts and actions are driven by a sense of humanity. Thanks for your time.